Have you ever felt that you can hit the ball just as well as someone else, yet they score much, much better? Same distance, same ball striking, same course, and yet at the end of the round their scorecard looks completely different from yours, and you have no idea why. If you have felt that, and most golfers have, then this episode is for you. Because the difference between those two golfers has almost nothing to do with how well they hit the ball. It has everything to do with how they think about each shot before they hit it. One of them is playing a game of right or wrong, good shot or bad shot, hit the target or fail. The other is playing a completely different game, a game built on strategy, on start lines, on understanding how golf actually works. And once you see the difference, once you really understand what the second golfer knows, you cannot unsee it. And your relationship with the game changes completely. Most golfers approach every shot as though there are only two possible outcomes: good or bad, right or wrong, success or failure. The flag is on the right side of the green. They aim at the flag. The ball either finishes close to the flag, good shot, or it doesn't, bad shot. That is the entire framework through which they experience the game. Every shot a test, every result a verdict, and the pressure this creates is enormous. Because when the target is a single point in space and anything else is failure, you are playing an impossible game. A game that even the greatest golfers who ever lived could not win consistently. But here is what those better scoring golfers understand that most players never learn. Every shot is not a test of right or wrong. Every shot is a strategy. And the quality of the shot is not measured by where the ball finishes alone. It is measured by how well the strategy was conceived and how well it was executed. Those are two completely different ways of experiencing the same game. One creates pressure, judgment, and frustration. The other creates clarity, freedom, and, perhaps surprisingly, significantly better scores. Let me show you what strategy actually looks like on a golf shot. The flag is on the right side of the green, tucked behind a bunker. The strategic golfer doesn't aim at the flag. They aim at the center of the green and allow the ball to move gently right through the air towards the flag. If the ball moves as intended, they finish close to the flag. If it moves a little less than expected, they finish in the middle of the green. Either way, they are putting for birdie or par from a good position. The key to all of this, the single most important part of every golf shot, is the start line, the direction the ball sets off in the first 30 to 50 yards, because everything that follows depends on it. If the start line is good and the ball moves less than intended, you are fine. If the start line is good and the ball moves more than intended, you are still probably fine. But if the start line is poor, if the ball sets off in the wrong direction, no amount of movement through the air will save you. The start line is the journey. The flag is the destination. And the journey is more important than the destination. Now here is something that I want you to sit with for a moment. Seve Ballesteros, arguably the most gifted and creative golfer who ever lived, once said that only around 2 shots per round came off exactly as he had imagined them. 2 shots per round. For Seve Ballesteros, if the greatest creative genius the game has ever seen accepted that 68 or more shots per round were not going to come off exactly as planned, what does that tell us about the standard most golfers hold themselves to? The ball will not and should not end up in exactly the same position every time. That is not failure. That is not a flaw in your game. That is simply the nature of golf. It always has been, even for Sev. The question is not whether your shots land exactly where you aimed. The question is whether your strategy was good enough, that even an imperfect result leaves you somewhere acceptable. So instead of right or wrong, try this. After every shot, ask yourself 2 questions. Was that a good strategy for the situation? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how well did I execute it? A player who consistently builds good strategies and executes them at a 6 or above will go round a golf course in a very good score. Not because every shot is perfect, but because the thinking is sound and the execution is good enough. The spread works in their favor, the margins are built in, and the game becomes something they can actually play, rather than an impossible test they are doomed to fail. Now I want to step off the course for a moment, because this is not really about golf. How many decisions in your life are you judging as simply right or wrong, good or bad, success or failure? The relationship that didn't work out exactly as you planned, the career that took a different path than you imagined, the project that landed somewhere other than where you aimed. All of it measured against a single point in space, the exact destination you had in mind, and found wanting because it didn't land precisely there. But what if the question was never whether it landed exactly where you aimed? What if the real question was the strategy sound? Was the start line good? And did the result, even if imperfect, leave you somewhere you can work with? Because life, like golf, has a spread. Plans do not land in exactly the same place twice. The future is not a single point in space. It is a range of possibilities, and a good strategy makes sure that even the edges of that range leave you somewhere acceptable. We do not know what is going to happen in a week, a month, or a year. We cannot control where every shot ends up. We cannot guarantee every plan will land exactly where we intended. We cannot know with certainty how the spread of life will fall. But we can focus on getting a good start today. A clear strategy. A good start line. The understanding that imperfect execution of a sound plan beats perfect execution of a poor one almost every time. And the freedom, the genuine liberation of knowing that 2 shots per round coming off exactly as you imagined was good enough for Seve Ballesteros. It is good enough for you too. The journey is more important than the destination. On the course, and everywhere else, focus on the start line. Trust the strategy, and let the ball find its own way home.